Yo, what's going on guys, Arekkz here and welcome back to another Division video. And in today's video, we are talking about Contaminated Zones. Just a super quick one today. This is also something that was covered in the most recent Division podcast, but in the event you missed that, or you missed my somewhat lengthy video breakdown, I figured I'd sum it all up for you in a super quick video. So let's go. First up, what are Contaminated Zones? Well, we actually get a little glimpse at one of these thanks to the map screen in the most recent gameplay clips. If you zoom in down here in the bottom right hand corner, you can see this red area with this contaminated symbol. According to the podcast, these zones will be dotted around the world, both inside the dark zone and outside too. However, being contaminated, they are a little bit hazardous to enter, or at least they can be. Contaminated zones are ranked from 1 to 4, 1 being the lowest level of contamination, 4 being the highest. Now up until recently, we were under the assumption that gas masks were just another piece of gear that you equipped once you entered the dark zone, because it's seen as a more contaminated area than the open world, so basically more of a narrative thing than anything else. However, there's more to it than that. See, there are also different levels of gas masks. By default, all masks will be able to handle level 1 areas, but only some masks will be able to handle the higher level areas. And while they didn't go into great detail on exactly how this will work, they did mention that if you attempt to enter a high leveled contaminated area without the right level mask, you'll have 10 seconds before you get contaminated yourself, and in turn you then die and you respawn at the nearest location. But what is the point of these zones? Well, we don't actually know. I imagine there'll be a narrative hook in some way, shape or form, and whether we're then tasked with, say, cleaning up these zones throughout the game will of course remain to be seen. But I'd imagine more than that, they probably play host to some pretty sweet loot. Imagine if you see a contaminated zone right at the start of the game, and at the end of it you see a loot chest, but it's just a little bit too far to reach within that 10-second time limit. You're then going to need to go off, level up, get some better gear, and then return there later on to claim whatever lies in that chest. The whole kind of Metroidvania mechanic where you can find areas early on in the game, but you can't access them until you obtain items or gear later on. Anyway, that is pretty much it, just a super quick video, but I thought I'd split it out as the podcast had a lot of information and I figured a couple of micro videos would help recap some of the information slightly better. I also did an in-depth breakdown on the stats in my last video, talking about things like attributes, talents and perks, and how they all interlink, so check that out if you haven't already seen it, I'll link that down below. But aside from that, thank you very much for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.